All right, I finally was able to get out to the smithy and start seeing how things are. I had some wood piled up over there. It floated. That doesn't seem like a whole lot, but once we move into the smithy, you can start to see where the water lines as the water receded got to, but that doesn't tell the whole story because you have to see where the sediment landed. This thing was fully submerged, just so you know. The doors were fully submerged. That silt, that brown is a different brown than the wood underneath because of the silt. Here's a little bit of what the brown looks like normally here versus all of the sediment from the silt. And it flooded the whole thing. You can see it got all the way up into here because that's the same silt. So it was even higher than you see here. But here's crazy. It picked up my half full quench tank with the post leg vise attached and then dropped it back down again because that's not where it was. I think a lot of you have seen my shows enough to know that's not where I keep it. What else? This thing's still full of water. My blanks from blacksmithingblanks.com. Yeah, they're still where they were put. That was good. I found my, you might have just caught that. I found my canister for my beeswax out in the field over there, outside the smithy. I found my doors open when I came out here. The water moved things like that. This thing completely got underwater. You can see some lines here as the water layer shifted. But the good news is the blower still blows because it's a hand blower, not an electric. It's unclear how high up it got here, but it does look like the propane forge is still fine. However, my tanks are sideways on the ground. They weren't full, but I would never have guessed that the water would have been able to lift them up and take them away from where I had them parked over here and float them all the way over there. It does look like my valves and gauges on them are still good and everything's good on them, but yeah. That's a crazy one, right? I did pick up my tanks. They were laying flat on the ground there. Yeah, my oil quench in my fire bucket, how the hell did it float up there and get caught behind my tongs? And you can see it got so high that it got up on everything that had been on this table. It actually floated this canister, which I don't think is safe to use now, all the way over there, and we found it tucked in that corner with the Trenton anvil fallen over through this spot here that's now a little bit of broken plastic. No big deal. Trenton anvil's perfectly fine. All of my tools are rusted, but that's not going to be a super detrimental thing. But yeah, I got a lot of cleanup to do. I got to go find things that floated to places I didn't expect. I got to replace things that I didn't expect to have to replace. Found this flaxseed oil outside there by the tanks. I'm guessing I'm throwing away all of the propane and propane accessories that's on this table. I haven't even pulled the blade yet that I have here out of its sheath to see how it's fared. And I'm afraid to go inside and see how it is inside the shed because it flooded inside there too. Well, here we go. I'm glad my Milwaukee box is empty. Just has the instructions and stuff. But sadly, Milwaukee and all my other tools were in the garage, where it also got completely flooded. The only thing I'd left out here was this light, which I'd never actually gotten working anyway. But it filled up in here. There's a good sign of how much full it got. It lifted my desk and allowed the base of the desk to walk a good 2.5, 3 feet away from the wall. Let's see if we can zoom in on that to make that clearer. Yep. What else? Obviously, it covered the chair. You can see all the silt on it. And that means that the silt was able to flow into the building somehow. The floor is covered in it. I mean, it's not a sealed building. It's sealed enough from the wind and rain elements, but not from flooding elements. It wasn't meant for that. We weren't supposed to ever see flooding out here. Got all the way up on this table. Got all the way up on this table. It actually filled that bowl. At least it's drying out a bit in here, but it filled that bowl. That's a forming, a dishing jig. And it filled it. All of these are soaked. The gloves. This is soaked. That's my apron that a dear friend of mine sent me. What else? I mean, I don't see indications here that it got that high. Definitely saw it got here, which is about the same here, which is the same height as the table. But it definitely got over the table, or it wouldn't have filled the dishing form. It took everything. This was standing upright, not floating, not laying on its side. Now you can see the sediment all over it. It's just filled with paper for starting my forge. We've got tools in here that are still holding water. I'm gonna have to come in here and get these all out of here and empty them out and see what's... I don't think the tools are really, I mean, it's steel work. We're pretty safe from those being damaged, but oh my gosh, so much else. Like anything we'd stored in here, I don't know if it's safe to use those anymore, the kilns, now that they've been submerged. As soon as you get them heated up, I assume you would have, is the term spurging? Sparging? Something. Anyway, you'd have all that water in there turning to steam and trying to just blow everything up. So I have a feeling those are trash now, as is some stuff in here. We'll see. Wow. At least everything upstairs should be okay. So there you go. Between that and everything getting submerged out here and moved around a lot. And, I mean, that peanut oil wasn't over there before. It is now. Won't be there forever. I got some cleaning up to do before I can start forging again. Let's see. Yeah, these are wet. These were submerged. That means everything on this level was definitely underwater. I don't know about up there. Do I have a good Ryobi battery now? The battery's still good, so it didn't get that high. That's good. We already had talked about some of the other stuff that I found in the field that had floated out of here. My coal bucket's full of water, but that's not going to hurt the coal. Yeah. Anyway, there you have it. So now you've seen why I'm not blacksmithing, and probably won't be for a little while. It's all going to be okay. It's all a matter of stuff. We just haven't decided what we're going to do about it all yet. We do have the GoFundMe. If you haven't seen that, in my profile, link in the profile, or you just want to message me, I'm reachable in a lot of places. You can always find me on LinkedIn. I'm probably the easiest person to find in the world. And I'll give the same challenge I give every time, and that is, especially in times like this, when there's a lot of people that are struggling. And definitely, even though my house did get flooded, there are people who've not even been able to get back to their houses yet, so they're homeless. So if you can help me, that's great. Little bits, I don't need lots. And then see if you can help somebody else, and that is the way to be a light in the world, and spread love, not light.